Hello, 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 everybody. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, my microphone's there. Okay, cool. How are you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live stream. I might be just talking to the void for this one. We'll see. We'll see if anyone really joins. Might take a bit. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, or anyone who's watching in replay land, hi, name's Stanley Orr. I'm working on a video game with my wife called Exit Stage Left. She's working on the code and stuff. I'm working on the art assets, and it's a mobile game. But the thing is, I kind of ran out of stuff to do lately, so I decided to start taking on trying to create a desktop version of the game in Team Fusion, what you see before you right here. And yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So let me show you what I got so far. What I have here is some hitboxes and the character and the ability to dash, and the character will randomly choose between a select set of poses. So that's all well and good. I'm not going to do any animation today. What I am going to do, here, let me hide these at the start. Let me set it so that these things are invisible at the start. That way it's easier to tell what's going on. There. See, characters just dashing around. Nice and fun. Anyway, so what I'm going to do today is work on getting the hit boxes squared away the way I want them to be. So yeah, there's that. Gotta make them both visible at the start, and then we'll adjust the start trigger, what events happen when the box is created. So the start of the frame, we set its scale, and then we always update its position to be what exactly? Well, let's change that scale thing. Delete it. We're gonna say that at the start of the scene, whenever this box is loaded in, because here, let me just back out and explain. If I don't adjust the scale of it, this is what it'll look like when everything starts. It'll be this big old box, just taking up everything, and kind of being a little obnoxious, a little too big. That's supposed to be the hitbox for the character. So I do actually want it to be a little smaller than that, so that we give the character a fair chance to avoid enemies and stuff. So that being said, let me go back to the event list for the hitbox itself. Here we go. And I'm going to change it first of all so that scale at the start of the scene is skinnier. So once this thing is loaded, where is it? Scale, here we go. Set X scale to be whatever the scale of the character sprite is, times, we'll go with half. And we'll prefer speed over quality because the hitbox isn't going to be visible. And then we'll edit the second one. We'll delete that actually. And then we'll set the Y scale. Well, we'll set the Y scale separately after we determine this. Yeah, okay, so the Y scale, I do like this X scale thing here. That's very nice. It'll give us a chance to give some leeway for the character. Give the character some breathing room. That's always good. You don't want the character to have to be like immediately hit the second anything comes in, to anything swoops in from the side of the stage or anything like that. So we're gonna set the scale and position. Well, the position actually is a separate issue altogether. So set Y scale. We're gonna set the Y scale to be whatever the Y scale of the character is, times 0.75 times 3/4 of whatever it is. So let's see how that looks. Start. Okay, yeah. Yeah, looking about right. Maybe I could make it half also, or even, heck, I don't know. Maybe I can make it a third of what it normally is. Did that do the trick? Yeah? Yeah, that's looking like a good size hitbox. And now I need to set it so that the hitbox is positioned relative to the torso. So let's do this, edit. Let's set it so that the torso position is, heck, I don't know, 30 down from the top of the character. Let's see what that is. Not quite what I had in mind. I need to go maybe double that, 60 or 90. But at the same time, if I do that, then what I need to do is set up the green hitboxes that are snapping the character to certain locations, the target hitboxes. I need to set it up so that those spawn in the scene below. They spawn in the scene lower than where they currently are. And that is a factor of the scene positioning itself. So, at the start of the frame, we create that. Anytime the number is that, what? Oh, that has to do with the, actually with the spawner. Yeah, let's go to a new folder here so I can organize it. We're gonna call this hitboxes. So we got the character hitbox, the target hitbox, the spawner hitbox, the floor hitbox. Cool. The spawner contains a self-save event. Hey, Epsilon, welcome to the live stream. How is your animation going this week? Hope it's doing pretty good. All right, so now I'm gonna have to lower this. So let's see, create it at, and then it moves that. So edit, we'll create this at, it's already at Y of 760. What if we drop it to, actually, where is the coordinate? Hang on, why don't I find out where the coordinate of the stage is and use that as a relative basis, because that would be the point of concern. Finishing up the final shot of the short film preview. Awesome. You keep at it. That is really fun. Alright, so if the hitbox for the stage is at, I don't even need to do any of this. I can just measure the height of the stage itself, where I want the relative positioning is. The top of the stage is 925. Okay, cancel that. So if I go back, are you sure we're going to cancel the changes? Yes, I'm sure. If I go back to the target behavior, or no, not the target, the spawner behavior for the target, edit, we're going to set the X position, not the X position, the Y position, which is the one that's we're concerned with. It was like 925 or something like that. Let's see how that looks when we spawn everything in. Fairly reasonable. I should move it up a little, actually. Let's move it up to just 900 and see what it looks like. And then we'll worry about repositioning the player after the fact. Okay, let's reposition the player now. Hey, welcome, Skullbelly. No more sprite work. Today I'm not going to be working on sprite work. Today I'm working on events and triggers. My goal for the end of the day today is to get hitboxes working the way I want them to and everything positioned relatively, the way it should be. And then if I have time at the end, I might do some more character loops. But for now, my goal is to get hitboxes working good and jump animation. Well, not a jump animation, but just the jump motion or the ducking motion. It's a bit ambitious. I don't know how far I'll get, but that's the gist of what we're going for today. All right, so yeah, let's change the character position here. For now, we're just going to cheese it. Bring it down like that. Is that going to be... Okay, so yeah, cheesing it. I do need to definitely readjust the hitbox on the character still. Let's see here. Alright, so we're going to tell it whenever it's following the player around and stuff. We're going to set its start position to be 0. We agreed maybe 90 down so that, let's see how that looks. That's looking good for a hitbox, actually. You see, what I like about hitboxes like this, you have all this blank space around the character so that it gives the player more time to dodge it and realize when they've made a mistake and stuff and actually react to what's going on. Instead of just, what the heck, why is it, why did I get hit there? It shouldn't have counted, sort of thing. So yeah, let's see. And although I do like, maybe I could, let's see, what's the hitbox? What's the status of the hitbox? The hitbox, it's at 0, 0. Maybe I can anchor it to the bottom middle. And then with the character sprite, that Is there a way to quickly adjust all the frames, or would I just have to manually? I don't want to have to. Well, maybe if I make the dashing like this. Might regret it. No, if I make the dashing like this. How's that look? Doesn't really change anything. Yeah, the dashing still looks fine. Alright, but the hitbox. We have the hitbox oriented that way, and now we need to adjust its position again because I moved its anchor point from the middle of it to something further down. Let's try 120. Okay, looking better. Maybe if I drop it even lower. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna drop it. I want it to be covering up. I'm gonna make it slightly skinnier, slightly taller. So set the X scale. We'll make it whatever the character's current scale is, divided by 3, third. And for the Y scale, we'll make it divided by half. We'll see if that creates a more interesting character box. Yeah? Okay, that's kind of what I'm going for, actually. Now I just need to readjust and center it and move it down. So let's move it over to the left by 5 and down by another 30, and we'll see what it looks like. So down by another 30, so that's 150, and then across we'll make it -5. Let's make it -10 and just see if it looks good. That's about right for a character hitbox, actually. Nice. Okay, cool. Cool. We got that going pretty good. Alright. Next up, we need to have... now part of me is wondering if I did this backwards and I shouldn't have instead have the sprites be based on where the character hitbox is instead of the other way around. Oh, if that's true, that'll be a mess to uncover because I've built everything the other way around so far. Yikes. Okay, we'll worry about that here in a second. So for now though, let's see, the character's default behavior. Is there any way to change the character hitbox itself to something more reasonable? Can I change the character's settings? Can I change where the anchor point is on everything within the character? Or do I seriously have to manually change the anchor point of every single sprite? Animation sequence, direction of animation, speed of animation, animation frame. Uh-oh. This might be a pain in the butt. Set effect parameter, effect image parameter, that's not it. Scale, angle, count, debugger. Oh gosh, okay. Can I do anything in the settings here? Group events menu, fast. Nah, it would be under the character thing. It wouldn't be under settings. Well, if that's the case, then for now I'm not going to worry about changing the character's actual sprite hitbox for now. Even though it would save me a lot of time. Alright, so temporarily, let's move this up there and we're going to just guess. Okay, so that's too high. Got it. How's that? That's too low. Or too high still. A little too high. How about that? That's a reasonable height. Gosh, it would be so much better. Okay, fine. I'll do it. We'll make it so that the anchor point for the character is always the middle and bottom of the sprite. Don't want to have to do that, but I don't see much in the way of options here. Can I select all of them and move the anchor point? Does that do it for all of them if I do it like that? No, it does not. Okay, gosh, that's a pain in the butt. Ah, heck, I hate having to do this. Okay, well, no time like the present, so let's see. 455. What's the center? What's the center and bottom there? 480 by 369. Gosh, I have to do this for left and right, and for the character, and for the sister sprite. Oh my gosh. No. Maybe there's a plugin. Hang on, let me see if there's a plugin or something someone's invented just to be like, okay, let's go to Click Team Fusion. Change all animation anchor points. Yeah. Change, yeah. Not at all possible. We can only hope that Multimedia Fusion 3 is better with this. Oh, good grief. You're kidding me. I do actually have to manually change. Ah. Oh boy. Yay. So, well, I might as well set it up. At least this allows customization for each individual pose. So if it's 455 by 600, 610 maybe, yeah, 45 by 610. Well, how's everyone's day been? This will be a fun content to watch. Some guy entering the number 610 a whole bunch. Great. Yeah, you know, I wish there was a way to massive select all of the sprites and then just tell it where I want the anchor point to be on all of them. But alas, I guess that's not an option. You know what? Cancel this. We're going to cancel all these changes. I'm not going to subject myself to that. Idea. Oh, day is going good? Good. Good to hear. Idea instead. How about I just use the sprite hitbox as my anchor point, and then that acts as the catalyst to keep everything else in check. That's probably for the best anyways. Okay, cool. I'll just not do that. But then, how does that work? I think I would need to then position the character onto the hitbox instead of the hitbox onto the character, because then the hitbox will be the thing puppeting everything else. All right, I can handle that. I just want to be sure I know what I'm doing here. So, do that. For now, if I'm right, the character will not be able to do anything like that. Okay, overall. We're going to call this one behavior 4. We're going to call this one hitbox positioning. New condition, we're going to tell it to always relative to this hitbox. Tell the character to be positioned at -10, -150 because the Y is inverted, relative to the hitbox. What were those coordinates again? -10, 150. Okay. Relative to the hitbox. -10, -150. Alright, let's see. How does this line up? Well, it's hard to tell because everything's all wonky. Let me just move this hitbox down for now. What is determining the hitbox's position here? Oh, heck, I know. I need to, oh gosh, nightmare fuel. I have to transport all the characters' movements onto the hitbox now. Ooh, heck, okay. Well, not all of it. Let me just see. If the dash is on, set the direction, right? Okay, fix that. Dash is on. Gonna delete these speed things on the character and like I said, I'm just transporting all speed related things onto the hitbox. And then snap to grid has to involve the character also. Right. Okay, so set speed to 0, it doesn't matter. Animation sequence doesn't matter. Exposition does matter. X dash doesn't matter. Okay. Alright, this probably messed everything up, but let's see what it does. Let's see what it does when I hit play here. Ah, hooray, it messed it up.
Okie dokie.
Let's see, behavior. Is it because I have it set as a static thing? I can make it a bouncing ball. No initial direction. Okay. Oh, that's what's the trick. Okay, cool. Cool. That fixed it all right. Nice. So now, if I do drop this, how do I, at the start of the scene, where do we create the hitbox? Start the frame. Okay, we're creating it relative to the character still. So... okay, the character is being positioned relative to that, so it jumps it up. Right, let's not do it. Let's not create it relative to the character. Let's just create it relative to the floor hitbox, the floor level. And we're gonna set the floor level. We're gonna change it so that its hitbox is in the top middle, since that is the point at which all contact is made. All right. Ah, well. Slight progress. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Edit hitbox. Yeah, we have our hitboxes squared away right there. It's fine. Create a 0, 0 from that. Let me just. Why don't I just put it at actual XY coordinates? Why don't I just make it. Yeah, on the character layer. Let's just put it right. You know, the problem was that it wasn't on the character layer. We'll just put it right there. Why not? Okay. We'll see how this handles. Oh, beautiful. Okay, we transported the movement easily. Now the hitbox is the one controlling the character's movement. Alright, cool. Yes. Alright, time to save the first backup, because I keep forgetting to back it up. Save as. This is under the desktop build. We're gonna new folders. Backup, not that. New folder, we're gonna call it backups. I'm gonna call this ESL ESL, and we're gonna call this Okay, yeah, that'll be good. 0-000 hitbox. Cool. So there's the hitbox. And we'll save this back over that, the one that we're currently doing. Alright, cool. There's a problem there. Sometimes the character will dash over Sometimes the character will dash over the stopping positions. We can't have that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, see? Okay. And also, the character's offset when like that. So, excuse me, we need to adjust the positioning here. So this is overall character behavior. Hitbox positioning, yeah. So let's change this so that instead of always, we'll replace it with whenever the character is facing left, let's say. And then a different one for if the character is facing right. Make it positive 10. Let's see if this works. Or if I totally goofed it. Okay, so I would say it's less to do with the right-hand side and more to do with the left-hand side not going over far enough. Negative 20, how about? Oh, actually, you know, since the character's facing, it's inverted, why don't we just change that from negative 20 to positive 10 and see if that does the trick. Yeah, it did the trick. Come on, switch, pick a different pose already. Alright, cool, so we have the proper hitbox alignment now on the character. Sweet, so that's fantastic news. Alright, we're not a total loss after all. That's good. Good. Alright, so the next part is to... Oh, gravity. Okay, so gravity is going to have to be a thing. And you know, before we do that, actually, I'll set it so that... the character's facing left or right, we do stuff like that. Overall. Position is... That's there, yeah. Hitbox positioning is the one I'm picking up. Character, direction. The character's direction. What will I say here? Nah. Well, it's already updating the positioning every frame. I kind of am hesitant to update the scale every frame as well. But let's see. Yeah, because that scale combines with the other. Okay, no. We'll leave that alone. It's relative. We'll leave it alone. Now, as for the fact that it sometimes, if I can get it to do it again, it sometimes skips over. Why does that happen? I wonder if it's to do with ray tracing, if I could use ray tracing to figure out what the heck's going on there. Click Team Fusion 2.5, ray tracing, ray casting. What's that about? Oh, there's tutorials. Well, I'm not going to watch a tutorial on you guys right now. That would be just inconsiderate. We can do jumping. Let's try jumping. Heck, why not? I'll just say this. And let's do behavior. We're gonna call this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Undo. Oh, this is why we have backups. No, don't save. I accidentally overwrote something that I wasn't supposed to overwrite. That's not good. Okay, let's try this again. And also at the start of the frame, we're creating that. Then after that, we should position. Select position. No. Whatever. So first thing I need to do is actually bring in the hitbox for the environmental thing. Switch the layer. Alright, so environmental layer here. Let's move this up to where we want it. Namely, right here. That's the bottom of the frame. Beautiful. So that'll be now the official ground. So let's say that the character hitbox and or are we using the player behavior? I already got a dash behavior in. Yeah, I think I want all the jumping behavior and everything to be, yeah, set to what we need it to be. I want it all to be based on the hitbox instead of the animation, even if I found a way to redeem it there in a second. So let's call this one player jump. All right, cool. So player jump. What we're gonna do is have it set up so that we have the ground, and we're gonna tell the hitbox whenever it's below the ground. If it's ever positioned below it, we're gonna tell it to actually snap to on top of it. And that'll be what we do here. So actually, we're not going to call it player jump. We are in fact going to call it ground check, because it should never be able to go beneath the ground. So new condition, new rule. So if the position, the Y position of this is lower than the Y coordinate of the top edge of the floor level, if it's below it at all, then we change the Y position to the Y coordinate of the top edge of that. Alright, now let's test this out. So with that being said, if I move this box down below at the start, it should, yeah, it'll automatically snap back up. Okay, cool. Let's make it extreme. Let's say it's all the way down below, like almost off the screen practically. Yep, no, it realigns itself. Beautiful, that is excellent stuff. So now we know for sure that everything is lined up in position relative to the box. Good, okay. So now let's create a jump mechanism. I have not done this before. We are gonna do this from scratch. So that'll be fun. We're going to call this behavior is jump. Oh boy. Okay. Edit. So, upon when the player presses a key, if it's the jump key, the up arrow, we'll call it the up arrow for now, or the space bar, or the W key, and let's insert some ors into there. Like me, I'm an or, I'm Stanley or. That's my joke for the day. There, so now upon any of that stuff happening, what we're going to do is Panic. We're gonna panic. No, we're going to set gravity, physics. Apply a force, maybe? Okay, well, let's try this. Let's apply a force of 10 to the angular velocity. No, it's not no. We're applying it to the thing itself. Okay. Oh, in the direction. Okay. We're gonna go 90 degrees. So does that do it? Nothing is happening. Okay. First, let's make sure that this actually does it. Upon doing that, let's. Can we change the color? Set RGB coefficient, 55. I don't know what that does, but okay. So it does. Now I know for a fact that it actually is reacting to my button press. Okay, that was just there so I could tell what's going on. Okay, so it does react to the button press. That's important. Let's delete the effect we have. So upon the button press happening, launch an object. We do this. We launch it in a select direction, up, by a speed of 100. Okay, let's see if that does it. Oh, it made it grow. Alright, didn't expect that. You know what, maybe I need to initialize it first. Maybe that's because it's not currently on. Okay, no. What? Yes, I see. We're creating duplicates, are we? We have a whole army of them. This is painful. Let's not. Launch is not the thing. Launch is not the key here. At all. Hey, sweet. Looking forward to that. Epsilon. Fully animated teaser. I bet it'll look cool. Maybe that was the right one. Hang on, what other behaviors do I have here that are possibly messing with it? You have invented cloning. I know. Where's my Nobel Prize? Where is it? I need to know. I mean, seriously. Yeah, okay. Change. Yeah. So all that just has to do with whether or not the timer is on, so that shouldn't be an issue. And everything else is subservient. This is once the snap to grid thing happens. Set timer to 0. Set speed to 0 on that. Set as dash off. Change it. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Box positioning. If it's facing left, do that. If it's facing right, do that. Yeah, this is all very straightforward. Okay, so maybe that launch thing wasn't the answer. Although, you know, I'm feeling like, okay, let's create a temporary object. Just to test what this launch thing does. Temporary object test is jump action. We're gonna import this bad boy. So upon pressing the up arrow or anything like that. Okay, now you're rendering a fully animated teaser for the short. I detect that something went wrong there, and you weren't initially doing that. Launch object. Okay, we're gonna launch this thing in a selected direction up at a speed of 100. Okay, let's see if that does it. Oh, launching it creates a clone of it. Well, that would do it. That would explain it partially. Right, so we don't want to launch it. Movement. Actually, we could basically change the direction. Okay, so actually, and we can let's get rid of that acupuncture. That was just a test. Where's the scene where it is? Here. Done. We don't need you anymore. Okay, so back to the events list. Character hitbox on the is jump event. So upon pressing any of those buttons that tell it to jump, first thing we're gonna do is let's change this character's state. Let's change it to a flag. Flag. We're gonna set the flag on. We're gonna have a secondary flag on, and we're gonna create this flag where we have it over here. The secondary flag, we're gonna call it is jump. You know, to indicate that it's jumping. You get those food. You get that food, Epsilon. Go. Fill your body with food, you greedy, greedy person. I don't care. Anyways. No. Yeah, so is jump is now officially on. Now, while the flag is jump is on, for that character, we're gonna set everything. We're gonna change everything. Set the direction to be up, and when direction is up, we're gonna give ourselves, or we're gonna set the direction to be up. We're also going to add to the self timer of the character by 1. For every tick, it'll be like blah, 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 blah. So we do that, and then so while it's on, we set direction. We add that to self timer. We start the animation. No, not the animation. We start the movement. Actually, these could be set like that because those are one-time events. So set as jump on. Set. Set the direction to up. Set the gravity to, I don't know, 50? Is that it? That's probably not it. Let's not mess with a built-in gravity physics engine just yet. Baby steps, family, baby steps. For now, I'm just gonna do an old-fashioned movement thing. Set the speed to 100. Why not? And then start it. Now, while is jump is on, we are going to add one to the self timer for a continuous tick. And then, for now, let's just see. This should yeet it into the atmosphere. No? Okay. There is a major problem of conflict here where the targets are forcing it to stay in position. Okay, what's going on here? Classic Swedish Christmas soda. I have never heard of that. Do tell, actually. What is a Swedish Christmas soda? Tell me all about it. So we're gonna make sure that when it's doing this, that is dash has to be off. And that's at the top. The actual name roughly translates to Christmas juice. Fascinating. Very interesting. Maybe the self-timer is messing with this, because I know it's used in the dashing also, and we currently don't have it set to go off. So I'm gonna have to remind myself, what happens again when the dashing occurs in the events list? The dash event. So what is this? So upon pressing left or right, we set the direction and tell the dash to be on. Then we change the animation sequence to stop from that, and we start this, set the speed to whatever that is, and change the animation sequence to stop. That doesn't matter. And then we add one to the self-timer while it's rolling so that it knows to count up to the actual dash. Technically, it's flavored with a bunch of stuff you'd usually make beer with, but it's mostly just really sweet. Interesting. I'll have to try that sometime if I ever get the chance. If I see like a world market sort of thing with imported foods or something, that'd be really nice. Heavily carbonated. I think that sounds fantastic, actually. That sounds fun. Add one to self-timer. And then while that's happening, if it's overlapping, we set that on. Alright, set is target to be on. Okay. Now, while is target is on, and that is not overlapping. I think it's got something to do with telling it to stop when it hits that. So snap to grid, here we go. So on timer event snap to grid, while that is overlapping that, we set its speed to 0. Actually, and then only just tell it to stop. But this is only when the timer event snap to grid occurs, so it shouldn't be constant. I think you can buy it at IKEA. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, heck yeah. They have a Swedish food store there, don't they? Yeah, I think so. I've never actually been to IKEA. There is a few in the area I'm at, and I've seen them around, in the States also. So we might, I would check it out. I mean, it would make sense if they had it there, considering the Swedish sort of, everything's Swedish there. It would make sense. You checked. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, I'll definitely check that out next time I get the chance. And yeah, I can't wait for World Market stuff too around Christmas time. That'll be fun. It's always fun to go. That's a tradition in our family to always go and go see and get different stocking stuffers from the World Market, imported foods and stuff, candies, that sort of thing. It's really nice. Alright, so now we have it checked. America IKEA sells a version of it under the name Vintersaga Swedish Festive Drink. Ah, Vintersaga. I'll have to keep an eye out on that. It might have it in Canadian IKEA too then, where I am right now. I don't see why I wouldn't. I'll check it out, definitely. So, set speed to 0. Okay, let's trace this back. Hang on, let's trace this back. So, the dash feature. I'm gonna convert, I'm gonna bring everything together because this is just a bit much. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Thank you. And now that's all in one easy to read spot. The dash event should all be one basic thing for snapping to the grid. Can I copy entire event behaviors and paste them into other objects? I can! Okay, cool. That's even better, because now I can get rid of it here, because it doesn't really pertain to the character. It just pertains to the hitbox. It's not the character sprite that I need that for. Okay, we're going to rename this to is dash. Actually, no. I like it better the other way. We're going to call it dash. We're going to call the other behavior jump. Sweet. So let's see here. We got the jump. Oh, I didn't mean to create a new behavior. We got the jump event and the dash behavior, and we're all sitting fine and pretty here. So the only two current events under the character sprite are his overall adjustments and stuff, and the hitbox positioning, which is basically wherever it is. Right? Yeah, we'll call it hitbox positioning because that's what it is doing. It's just telling it where to be relative to the hitbox at all times, which we might replace later on. Anyways, that's settled, and so now follow player. We just have that set to the X scale. Where could be a better place to put this? That's at the start of the frame. Well, heck, if it's at the start of the frame, no, we'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone. Okay, I'll just call it something better than follow player because it's technically not. We're gonna call it init for initialize. Ground check. That has nothing to do with that. Jump is the one where we're running into issues. Okay. Set jump on. Okay, so upon pressing a button. Okay, first thing we do, set the jump on. Set dash off. Yeah, so dash has to be off, first of all. And then second of all, is jump has to be activated. So, yeah. Okay, so we have that. His jump is on, so now it's telling it it's on. It's time to jump. We set the direction to be up. We're gonna look straight up, and then his jump is on. Set the direction up. Set the speed to an alterable value. Do I have an alterable value here? Self-speed, I guess. We'll call it that. Same speed as when it's running, and we'll leave that alone for now. You're gonna upload it. Okay, sweet! I'll have to check that out when I go on break. Let me see here. And then we'll start it. So let's check this out in detail. So his jump is on because we press the up button. So that happens, and then we set the direction to up, set the speed to that, and fire our engines. So again, this should just be yeeted out into the oblivion. And yet it's not, and now the character's not synchronizing to it. What is going on? Why? Why? It definitely has to do with the snapping effect. I know that. It has to do with the character snapping to a certain position. But why, though? I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. Let's see. Jump effect. Let's get rid of everything that happens when the character is told to jump. Okay, so it's nothing to do with that, actually, because somehow I borked it on its own. Okay, that's at least comforting to know. Let's go to the character hitbox events. Let's see, what's wrong with dashing? I probably just messed something up here. So upon pressing right arrow or D, we set the direction. Oh! There's a bike here. Why is there a bike here? You know what? There is duplicates and triplicates here. And I feel like it's just not necessary. Hide that. That doesn't make any sense. And I have like 5 different character hitboxes. Which aren't doing anything, might I add. That's why it's messed up. Gosh, okay. I didn't realize it would absorb it and mishmash it together just because of positioning. Okay. hidden objects. Let's undo that. Okay, let's unhide all the objects. There. So, yeah. I don't even know what this is. Wow, Click Team. Wow, you really did me dirty here. This is supposed to be the character hitbox? Replaced by another object. Thank you. Yeah. Do that. Yes, I know it can't be undone. Okay. So now these glitched ones don't have any effect on anything else, which is fine. That's totally okay. I think I fixed it, but then I have to get rid of that clutter. Okay, yeah, I fixed it. Thank you. Yeah, now there's a problem with the jumping. I can deal with that later. But for now, let's deal with these things here. It's labeled as a bug, but that's because there's nothing actually there. How do I get rid of? How do I get rid of these duplicate and triplicate things? Oh no! Why are there? Why? Why? Just why? Okay. For now, I guess I'll just hide it. Remove folder. Thank you. I can't hide that one for some reason. What is going on here? Okay, okay, I'm gonna create a new behavior. This is too weird for me. We're gonna call this one Dasher, just to distinguish it. And the only thing that should be involved here is that. The character hitbox, so. Let's just copy all those. Import that. Yeah. And apply them. No, I can't. Okay. Have to do it one at a time, of course. Oh, now it's fixed. Okay, fine. Guess I just needed to click away for a second. I guess it detected the fact that there was some in there that had nothing to do with anything, and it got rid of them. Alright, cool. That was a weird event that I didn't need that to happen, but it did, so... Okay. Cool. Strange. Gonna pretend that never happened. No clue what that was. But now we're back on track, I guess. So, jump. The jump behavior. So we set this jump, set the speed, and then start it. The thing is, it's still snapping because of the targeting here. So we set is target, and the toggling and stuff. It still needs to it still should treat it as it still should treat it as if it snapped that X coordinate, but not give a crap about how far up or down it is. You know? So that's something I'm gonna have to deal with right now. So let's go back to the dash behavior. For the 15th time today! If dash is on, and we start it and set its speed, that's fine. Change the animation sequence to stop, which is just the blurry dash sprite that we have there. Add 1 to the self-timer. This will keep going. When the self-timer is greater than 4, fire event snap to grid immediately. Oh, and then set the target for that to be on. Now, once snap to grid is active, and this is overlapping this, set speed to 0, set the X position to that, and stop. Set self-timer to 0, change the animation sequence, and turn off the dash. This is only should be on that event though. It shouldn't keep happening. Right? Fire event snap to grid after 0 minutes and 0 seconds and 0 milliseconds. Alright. And it only adds to the self-timer if is dash is on. And I turn is dash off once it lands. And the only way for the jump thing to be active is if the is dash thing is set to off. We know this. Therefore, things. Okay. Heck, let's just get rid of that for now and bring it into this section just so it's easier for me to see what's going on. Cool, that just separates it. Alright.
I'm having so much fun losing my mind right now.
For a PC report, are you going to upload it to Steam? Yes! Fully intend to. That's the idea. Gonna do a Steam thing. I know it's like $100 fee to upload to Steam, but after that we can break even, I think, pretty easily if we get the right amount of advertising out there. So yeah, that's the idea. Hopefully it works. We'll see here though. Is dash off. So yeah, it's just telling it which target it is. And actually the target orientation shouldn't matter. Yay! Yes, exactly. Yay is correct. Now, why don't I just move everything? You know what? I hate to say it. Why don't I just move everything into one location for this? It's done. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to take a short break anyways. I am about to lose my complete mind. So I'm going to take a short break, guys. Gonna check out Epsilon's thing you wanted to see. You love the motion blur. You've already seen it, but still, yeah, thank you. I really am happy with how the motion blur turned out. Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna check out this thing that was sent to me on Discord and stuff, and when I'm back, we'll just continue. We'll see. Anyways, catch you guys in a bit.
July the 12th, 1902, my old friend Ulrich, the astronomer, summoned its observatory monitor. He explained that for the past few nights, as the clock struck 12, a strange phenomenon had been observed taking place on the planet Mars. He said he wanted a man of the press to observe it as well, make sure the newspapers didn't write complete bollocks, as he so tactfully put it. And so we huddled by the telescope, hoping pattern would repeat itself once more. And repeat itself it did. Precisely as the clock struck midnight, a huge mass of luminous gas erupted from the planet's surface, moving retrograde, as Ogilvy explained. I was tremendously excited by the sight, and my mind erupted with fanciful ideas as to what might have caused it. Though quickly, one took hold above all others. Do you think there might be someone up there, trying to signal us? Oh, Martians! Here I thought you were a man of reason. Seems plausible enough to me. Trust me, Frederick. I've studied that planet for years. The chances of life on Mars are 1,000,000 to 1.
All right, we are back, and yeah, that was really cool, man. Thumbs up there. Actually, wait, no, hang on. Let me swipe that away so I can make sure I get Discord taken care of. Put that away for now. You can feel free, Epsilon, if you want. You can go ahead and link in the chat. You can go ahead and link your video in the chat. It's on YouTube, so it should allow you to post it. If not, I can do it myself, of course. We can do that. If I can find it in my history, actually, that'd probably be for the best. There you go. I'll just paste it in the chat. Cool. All right, there you go. You should be proud of it. I mean, it looks really neat. I mean, the animation's smooth. It's not overdone. You didn't go too complicated with any of the backgrounds or, excuse me, any of that, so that it would be, so that you would drop in quality and then be obvious or anything. No, you just went straight for a standard, easy approach to it, and it worked out great. So yeah, no, good job. Let's see. Movement. Let's apply a force to it. Let's try what this does. 200. Let's just say enter the angle. Let's start with 0 because it should be facing up. Okay, nope. Not gonna do it. Alright, delete that. Let's try again. Physics. Because I know QuickTeam has a built-in physics, thing. About linear velocity. Okay, so velocity 200 and angle 90. Let's just do that and see what happens. Nothing. Okay. What are we doing here? Do I even know what I'm doing here? Bounce, is that a thing? Yeah, I don't think that would do anything. Delete. Okay, so upon dash being pressed, we set this flag on is jump. This jump is on. Actually, we can let's set a custom flag here for the block here. We'll use flag 0. We're going to turn it on. And flag 0 in the character hitbox is just going to be something we refer to as pass through. Now we're going to call this is jump. Okay. So we're going to set is jump as on for the hitbox. And then we're going to make sure that I don't know. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We don't need to do that at all. Sorry for the burp. No. We don't need that at all. Let's go back to the adjustable variables for that. The character events. Let's go back to the things here. We're going to get rid of that set flag. We're going to have an alterable string. I'm gonna call this state. We're gonna call this is state for the state, and we're gonna default value. We're gonna, I don't know, leave alone. But then, and here's the kicker. We're not even gonna call it is state. We're just gonna call it state. And then for the kicker, we're gonna change an alterable string of state. We're gonna call it is jump. And now, oh, this is genius. I should have done this sooner. Okay, so this will tell it what's going on. So, yeah, I'll do the same thing with the character real quick. This is actually a smart move on, I think this is a really good idea. Alterable string, we're gonna call this, we're gonna create a state for the character too. New thing, we're gonna call it, I don't know, we leave it alone. At the start it'll be blank, but then we're gonna replace this is dash function, this is dash flag. We're gonna change it to a string of a state, and we're gonna call it is dash. That'll be the state of the string there. And let's do the same thing with this. So let's change the string, alterable strings, set state is dash. This can tell what state that everything is with a single concise thing, and we don't need to create a flag for everything. So let's get rid of these flags. Oh, well, I guess is dash is still being used. Okay. We're gonna replace that with the character string state equals is dash. And for that, we're gonna always replace every instance where it says is dash. Perfect. So now he can safely tell it that this only matters for the dash state. Yeah, and actually we could, yeah, for the sake of consistency, I'll make it so that the state is controlled by the character and not the hitbox. The character sprite will control the state. So, leave that. We're gonna make it so that the character hitbox doesn't have a state per se. Or that its state is not altered with any of that. So, set state to is jump. No. Oh. Nope. Delete that.
Delete that.
Would you please stop doing this? I'm not trying. Oh, that's because I was accidentally selecting only things that involve that. My bad. Sorry. Excuse me for burping again. I feel terrible to have done that to you guys. So we're gonna now the state is what matters for the character. And with that, we can get rid of some of these flags. Is dash shouldn't be referenced anymore. Where is it currently being referenced, I wonder? Set state, change animation, change timer. Ah, set is dashed off. We need to replace that with alterable strings. Set is set state to null, or well, no, idle. I'm gonna set it to idle. Cool. Now the is dash state should be the is dash flag should be deletable. Yes, okay, cool. So now this is all dependent on the state. And if I've done this right, it should still behave the same way. Okay, beautiful. So now I have it all based on what quote unquote state the character is in, and I can tell the computer that rather than having a series of like 50 different flags that I toggle manually. Which is nice. But that's pretty nice, to be honest. Okay, so now we don't have to have the flag 0 is off or any of that stuff. You can just replace it with alterable string state is jump. So when the state of that is jump, and upon pressing W, or when the state of that is jump upon pressing up arrow, or when the state of that is jump upon pressing the space bar. So this only happens, actually the state of is jump doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be that, it has to actually be is idle. Yeah, has to be labeled as is idle. And let me go back and change the one because I realize now this is going to bite me in the butt because the default state, when I changed it back I told it to just be idle. No, it doesn't have, it shouldn't be idle, it should be is idle. And then we should set the character's default state to be is idle. Sweet. So now, now all of this only affects the character if the state is set to is idle, and then all the snapping and dashing and stuff only matters if the character's state is dash. Alright, let's reorganize this a little bit. So, sorry for the great big gaps of silence. I hope this is an entertaining live stream, guys, but a lot of the game dev stuff is just thinking. So, now we've told it that the dashing event and snapping to grid only matters insofar as the state of that is set to is dash. Cool. So now it should no longer be attempting to... It should no longer be attempting, basically, to go up or anything. It should be, it should no longer be attempting to slam it down and keep it in place when I change things. So the state is jump, position, set X coordinate, or not X coordinate, movement, set, let's change the direction to up. No, not that. Change the direction of this to up. There we go. Change the direction to up. And then set this. Change the direction to up. Start it. Set the speed to be 200. Let's just try it. Now this should make it so that it can go. You know, it's really wanting to go up. I just wonder why it can't. Like, what's the deal there? I can see it struggling to start launching itself. I just don't know why it actually can't. Like, what is holding it back, holding it in place? Okay, let's go to our text editor here. Editing. Set text. We're going to make it a certain string of the character's y coordinate. And we're going to see, maybe that'll tell us what's going on here. So it does get up a little bit, but it's always held back and slowed down and stopped by a timer ticker. I bet it has to do with the movement. Okay, I bet that has to do with the character's self-timer. Where is the self-timer located? What event? It'll be under the jump event. Yeah. Or the dash event, rather. State of is dash. Starts at the speed. Add one to the self timer. Only if it's set to is dash though, and that's the weird thing, because I'm not telling it to change it to is dash when I hit up. All I'm telling it to do is change the state to is, you know, jump. Is jump.
So what's the deal with that?
What do I tell it to make a self timer of 10? Would it be able to escape? Okay, so no, the self timer is not the issue there. Alright, good to know. That just gives it some time to have some frames kicked in there. Is self timer really necessary even? Yes, it is, because it needs to escape it, that's right. Has to do with escaping. It has to do with the target toggling, possibly. This toggle. If the target is, if it's set to be is the target, change direct, make it go left. If it's not the target, it's green. And then, if it's set to is on and it's not being overlapped, we're going to turn it off. Let's just bring this in. I'm going to call this one target behavior. So what do we have here? So direction, if the is target is on, set it to that, which is off, which is the gray, and it's off, turn it out is right. That just establishes the switch visuals. That's all there is to it. That's just the visuals. It doesn't matter there. So if the target is on, and that is over, and the hitbox is overlapping it, then it's not overlapping, then it was set to off. Okay, so that's nothing to do with anything. And then, what's that? X scale, that doesn't matter at the start of the frame. Ground check. That only counts if the Y position is below that, so that doesn't matter. Jump, well that's what we're trying to figure out for that behavior anyways. This behavior is open, oh yeah, I gotta choose a new, okay. I can delete that for now because it's not actually part of anything I'm working on. And then, is there anything in the character behavior that is messing with this? Always set the animation speed. Yeah, that's just the animation speed, and set the scale, that's just that. And then X position. That just makes it so it doesn't go off screen is all. Hitbox positioning. Set position relative to the hitbox. That's just telling it where to be relative to the hitbox. That shouldn't matter. So it's anchored to the hitbox. We know this for sure. Floor level, we don't have anything there. Spawner. The only thing we have for the spawner is just telling it to create the targets and make sure they're behind the character. So that's fine. What do we have in the event list? Always, that's just the text. At the start of the frame, create that. If the number of targets is greater than or equal to 5, just destroy the spawner. Which that's a bit redundant actually. Yeah, okay, that's redundant, but alright. Let's just get rid of that. Boom. Start of the frame, create that. Layer 2. That's just for this. Character box. Do I have it set to be created at the start? So let's start, yeah. No, it's not created at the start. Okay, cool. So I'm not creating duplicates. That's not the issue. And why, here's a good question, great question in fact, why does the hitbox look like it doesn't want to move at all. Gotta get Sherlock Holmes on the case here. What's the deal? Let's check the dash thing again. This whole thing where I'm just doing everything in the one spot. State of is dash. Then we start it and set the speed and change the animation sequence to start. Yeah, only if it's set to is dash though. And it only does that when you press left or right. It changes the state. So now that that state is active, what are we doing? Well, the state is dash. Add one to the self timer, of course, only while it's overlapping the target. And if that target is... Oh, flags. Ooh, the flag. No. That still has flags, right? The target still has flags. We didn't change those to strings. Yeah, those are still there. Okay. And the is target is off, meaning it is set to be not the target. If it's overlapping it and it's not currently the target, add one to the self timer until the point where it is overlapping it and the self timer reaches 4. Then we fire the event snap to grid and turn itself to on, meaning it is the target now. Okay. On the timer event snap to grid then, as long as is dash is still on, and it's overlapping everything. Might as well just say this. And is target is on, not off. Then we set the speed to 0, the position snap, we stop the movement, change it to that, we do all that. Okay, that should be the only circumstance in which it synchronizes. And yet still it doesn't quite begin jumping away from everything.
Why?
If is jump is on, let's just change the Y position real quick to whatever it currently is. -1. That just does it once. Okay, that makes sense. It's only doing it once. Okay, interesting. Maybe make it 10 just to really get it out of the way. Will that do anything? Okay. Let's get ridiculous. Let's make it 100. But then once I move left to right, it pushes it back down. But I move it by 100. What if I move it by 100? Then set the direction to up. This will at least tell me whether or not it's the hitbox acting up when it's interacting with the target and snapping it to the grid and everything. Okay, so it's something to do. Okay, so it's nothing to do with the target at all. This is good to know. It has everything to do with some interaction between the character and the hitbox. All right, we are going somewhere with this. We can get rid of that there. That's fine. All right, so it has something to do with the positioning here. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. So ground check, dash, init. That's just the scale, that's just at the start, that only happens once. Overall character behavior. What do we have? Speed, and that's just to do with exposition, that's nothing. So the hitbox thing. Set position. If it's facing that way. Always set the position to that. And if it's facing that way, and the directions, when I'm telling it to jump, it's not changing the direction of the character, is it? Like, it's only changing the direction of that. Yeah. Weird. What's the deal there? Set the direction to left and right. I do want to get jumping done by the time we're done here. I don't want to have nothing to show for it here. So what's with the feedback loop here? Why is it deciding to lock it in like that? I guess if I tinker with the hitbox positioning just to see, maybe it would do that. Never. Let's just tell it to never do this. I just will deactivate the hitbox thing altogether. Okay, there's one step. The hitbox is now independent of the character. And now in the behaviors here, say that there's jump, direction up. Speed to that and then start. So. Why do you refuse to move? Is a great question. Is the ground check messing with it? If I offset it by 1, will that be doing it? No, that's not it at all. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Ha! Character hitbox. We'll go back to the dash behavior. On my way. That's not what I want. Go back to the dash behavior and see. Well, I'm talking in circles now. Change animation sequence to stopped. Add one in the self timer. Once it hits 4 and you're overlapping. Fire the event snap to grid after node instantaneously and set the target to be on this. This is now our target. And then when that's happening, yeah, that's just a dead man switch. Set X position, whatever that is. This is just snapping it to the grid. What did I tell it to launch on object? Okay, so it just spawns one there, but it refuses to move up. Okay, that's. Why is it refusing to move up? Was it something I said? Wait a minute. what are its available directions? No, that shouldn't matter. Should it? Is this a case where if it's not here? Let's test and see if it's facing the right direction first of all. Just crudely draw in an up arrow. Not even a good one. There. That's terrible. Alright, at least this will tell me if it actually winds up facing that way. Okay, so it is facing up. Why is it not traveling in the direction that I'm telling it to face? Do I need to set acceleration? I'll give it an acceleration. Is that what's necessary? Alright, Also, we need to set it, I need to give it the proper sprite for facing that way so it doesn't confuse me there. Cool, alright. Losing my mind! Ah, okay. So the character state is jump. And what is jump? Ready? What? Apply angular impulse. Okay. 100. What's that even mean? Well, clearly it's not responding to it, so that hardly matters. Alright. Okay. Movement. Set gravity to... Oh, it has to be 0 at least. Never mind. Position. Set Y coordinate to be... Okay. Okay. Whatever it currently is, minus 100, so that it goes up a bit. Why does that only happen once? Why does the state revert? Hang on, is the state of the character, hang on, is the character staying in that state, or does it revert the second it no longer, like, presses it? Is that what's happening here? Because if that's the case, then that would go a long ways to solving why I'm getting the results I am. So values, alterable strings, retrieve the state. So right now, it's idle, it's dash, idle, jump. So while this doesn't make any sense. Is jump. Do I have to say always? Do I have to say always while is jump is active? Because I have it set so that when is jump is on, it should be continuously changing the coordinate. Let's say always. Always while is jump is on. Just add. Right in the heck. Movement. Set speed. 100. Movement. Set direction. Up. Oh, it's good to know it's still facing up. Why isn't it doing the thing that it do? Okay. Not ready to throw in the towel just yet, actually. Not ready to throw in the towel. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's change the target behavior real quick. It's the only thing that's going to make me feel fine right now. Also, is this toggle ever used? No, it's not. Okay, that's useless. Is target value is pointless, isn't it? Where is target being used? Hang on. Whoa, hang on. It should okay. Okay. Target behavior. This is weird. So according to this, is target what? Set is target off, sure. But how come I can then delete? Oh, I can't. What? Oh, it didn't let me earlier. I guess I can now. All right. Weird. Never mind. Had nothing to do with anything. Thought I was onto something. I was incorrect. I will be happy when I can get this little square thing to just jump for me. All right. Ah, man. Hey, Tion, how are you doing today? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just trying to get this jump mechanism to work, and it's not going so well. Trying to set it up so that when I press the jump button, the character actually jumps. Would you believe it? I'm doing okay, but it's kind of a little, yeah, just a little stressful, I guess, to get this to work. Because no matter what I do, it seems like the character doesn't want to jump. You know? So it's kind of annoying to have to deal with. And I'm not sure where my code is wrong. My visual code, that is. So upon pressing the right arrow or the left arrow, we set the direction for those guys and tell it to start dashing, which is fine. And when it says dash, then we activate the movement and set the speed. Yes. And then change the animation sequence, of course. You're a little busy? Alright, what are you doing? What are you up to today? State of is dash is on, so it's dashing right now. Yeah, the hitbox overlaps the target, and the target is currently set to be off. Then we begin ticking the timer, which once it hits 4, and if that is overlapping still, and dashing still, fire it, set the target to be on. I should have it set so that that is still off though. I wonder if that was the solution to all of our problems. Anyways, and then fire snap to grid, in which we... What happens here? Can I get a closer look at the events that are going on here? There. Set the self timer to 0, change the movements to random. Set speed to 0. Set self timer to 0. Speed, set the X position. Stop is probably causing some issues. Setting up a Discord server several hours ago. Oh yeah? What are you using the Discord server for, if you don't mind me asking? So that's this movement to 0. Start state, change the state to is jump if it's set to is idle, which it would be once the dash thing triggers like that. Establish that works fine. Upon is idle being hit, change the state to is jump. Select the direction of up. Cool, that's working out good. And then when we're telling it to jump, movement, we start the movement. Actually, movement start, because the speed should be left on. Oh wait, I don't need to do that because the speed is still active technically. Set the speed again to be 100. Alright. Can't break free, can't break free. It's still jittery. I wonder if I could or I could change the character matching up with the hitbox if I could tell it to only do that if it's facing a direction. Yeah, I plan to publish the desktop version of the game on Steam, and we plan on releasing the mobile version of the game on the Android App Store, so the Google Play Store. So that's the general idea. We don't have a page on it yet or anything. It's still way too early in production for that. But when we get a chance, that's what we're going to do. And it would be awesome. Now let's insert a new qualifier. It's facing a direction. And the algebral strings is not set to be is jump. Maybe that is just messing with it for some reason. No, okay, because, right, the thing's still not going. What layer is it on? It's on the same layer, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing it come to fruition. Randomizer was set to 0. Frame create, start. Yes, it's all very good. The state is good, that's what we have for it. Initialize. I've been through this like 5 times by now. Hey, welcome back, Skullbelly. We have had no success in getting the character to jump yet. We're still having fun figuring out why it is doing what it's doing. So, yay. So let's try the frame, do that. This is just to do with the X position, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't understand what the deal is. I think it has something to do with this hitbox positioning, but I can't for the life of me figure out what it is, because when I disable it, like here, I can quickly... Yeah, let me just quickly disable it. Let's change the conditions. Okay. Actually, let's even get rid of that. Let's replace it with something that'll never happen. Let's... Upon the event... Upon the timer event, blah 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 blah. And blah 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 22 2. We'll tell it to lock to the positions there. In other words, it never will. Okay, so we've established. Okay, so I've established that it can't have possibly anything to do with the hitbox location. It can't. It actually cannot have anything to do with that. Because I just made it so that, I mean, I just inserted a nonsensical condition for this to happen in, and it's still having the same results. So clearly that's nothing to do with it. Direction, compare to direction, right, and then compare to the direction of left. Alright, so, and just to make sure I fix that, yeah, it's back to where it was. Alright, so if the direction is right, we do that. If the direction is left, we do that. Okay, so it has nothing to do, we've established for the 50,000th time, it's nothing to do with hitbox positioning. Well, I guess that narrows it a little bit. And it has nothing to do with the overall character positioning either. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. Character hitbox itself, maybe. Does that have to do with the target either? These two it can't have anything to do with because they're just signifying when the target is on or off. The target is on and that is not overlapping it. And maybe if the character is set to is dash. Maybe that's it. Maybe the status has to be is dash. No, it's still not doing it. Ah, I don't understand. I do not understand why. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. The target behavior has nothing to do with it, clearly. Then, is it the ground check? Is it this ground check thing? Here, get rid of it and see what happens. It is the ground check thing, what the heck? What? Excuse me? What? Oh, I should have known. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh. It always is something dumb. It's always something dumb. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I figured out our problem. The problem was I was telling it... Okay. I was telling it if the Y position was lower than the ground, but I forgot that in Click Team Fusion, lower is actually up in this direction because the origin point is in the top left of the screen. Or in your case, it would be like, so if my webcam was the screen, this would be 0, 0. This would be like 0, 10. This would be 0, you know, etc. This is the positive Y direction going down. Oh my gosh. So, we're going to say if it is greater than that, lo and behold, yay! We've successfully yeeted it out into the atmosphere. Okay, ready to resume work. I'm gonna grab myself a quick coffee, you guys, and then we're gonna dive right in and actually get progress done today. I know, crazy thought. Change the world, my final message. Goodbye. Flies off to his planet. Okay. Yes. Change the world, my final message. Goodbye. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Just gonna grab myself a quick cup of coffee so I can unwind after that weird random thing. Well, yeah, no, here's the thing, Epsilon. So, like, in Click Team Fusion, as I was just explaining to them, XY coordinates, like, the top left of the screen is actually 0, 0, and the bottom right would be both of them being positive. And I forgot that when I was creating this ground check so that the character wouldn't go below the ground. I was telling it, in my mind, I thought I was telling it if the character's beneath the ground, to just snap it to be above there. Forgetting that the values are flipped. So technically I was telling it if the character's ever above the ground, quickly snap it down to the ground. Basically, I was telling it to never leave the ground. So yeah, that's just an inevitable part of Click Team Fusion. I just blanked on the coordinate system is all. Yes, so that's fixed now though. So like I said, guys, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Quick coffee break. Oh boy, that was hilarious. That was a nice event for a break, wasn't it, though? good note to end on there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and try to get this to actually get a jumping mechanism in place, and then we'll call it a day. How about that? Good note to end on, you know? So let's see. Once again, the character is tied to it, so that's good. Alright. So, character hitbox, movement, behavior, there. So, we're going to set the direction. We can delete that whole thing now. So, if the state is jump is on, we're going to set the gravity. No. Physics. It's a physics thing. Should be pretty easy. Apply a force of 100 in the direction of, let's start with 0 and see if that does it. Nope, that didn't do it. Alright, is it even a physics object? Do I have to say physics enabled on it? Like, these are runtime options: create, start, follow the frame, destroy the two-part use find detection, load on global object, automatic rotations, do not reset current frame duration when animation is not. That's nothing to do with anything. Bumping ball, initial direction doesn't matter, speed. Okay, maybe that's just not it. Maybe it's just the direction is actually the only problem. Let's give it a direction of 90. 90-degree angle. No? Okay. Let's give it a force of 100. 180-degree angle. Okay, nope. Last call, force of 100, 270-degree angle. No, okay, so the force is not the right call for this. Alright, that's fine. Let's see here then. Physics, there's more physics options here. Yes, now that we sorted out that mess, right? Yeah, that would be a good note to end on, of course. Direction, movement. Set acceleration. 100. Direction. We'll also tell it when I hit the up button to point it up. And movement. Set. Actually, physics. Let's set the linear velocity to 100. 0-degree angle, meaning along the direction that it's currently facing. Not doing anything. Alright, I can deal with that. Let's try 180 degrees. Okay, that's not going to do it either. Well, I didn't want to have to do this the cheeky way, but I will. Set Y coordinate. Okay. Set the Y coordinate to be whatever the peak. No, this does need to be physics enabled. Unfortunately, this does need to be physics enabled for when the props come swinging in and hit it and stuff. So that there's just no way around it. Movement. Set friction, maybe? It's a frictionless object. and its gravity. What if we give it a gravity of 50? And friction and gravity should be enough, right? Heck, elasticity, we'll give it an elasticity of 1, I guess. I don't want it to be exactly that elastic. I don't even know what that'll do. Movement, physics. I'm just going to temporarily apply all these factors to it, and then after the fact we will see. Now that I've added elasticity, friction, let's apply a force to it of 100. 0 degrees. I could look up how to, honestly I'm being a little silly, I could look up how to create a jump thing in like Click Team Fusion for like a platformer game. But man, I really want to figure this out on my own. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't wanna. I really don't want to. Physics, angular velocity. Why not? Will that do anything at all to it? Nah, it won't. Okay. See, I could synthesize a jump. Fine, I'll look it up. I'll give in and look it up. Alright. So, angular, Click Team Fusion jump. How do we make it jump? Jumping tutorial. We have a platform movement tutorial. There's a platform movement object which is very, very good and easy to use. Okay. Mouse, directions, path, bouncing balls, physics. Oh, physics. Oh, I need to turn it into a physics object. Okay, duh. All right. Physics, platform move. Okay, yeah. Can I add a new movement? Jump, maybe? Yeah, no, this is it. I can change its physics. Okay, yeah. Jump. And then this, the first one will be dash. Okay, so in the dash state it's doing this, and the jump state, and the jump physics it's doing this. Okay, better. So much better. All right, so movement type is physics, bouncing ball, or physics. Spring. There's a lot of options here. I guess we'll start with a platform movement. Please insert a physics engine object in this frame. Oh. Please insert a physics engine object in this frame. Do I need to do that? Is that necessary? What do you mean? Important. The hotspot of an object with a physical movement must be positioned in the center. Okay, well clearly this is just not gonna work. Alright. Bouncing ball. Change it to a platform movement for that. Directions, sure. Whatever. Speed. This is weird to have to deal with. So, anyway. They're on platform speed. We'll set its initial everything to 0. Well, speed. I don't see. Okay, not moving at start. I can just get rid of the jump thing entirely and set it to dash, set it to platform. I guess platform is the way to go. Alright, so acting like it's a platformer sort of thing. Player 1, sure. Speed is... whatever, 0. Acceleration at start, we'll do... no, that's just that, no. Acceleration, deceleration don't matter because it's all dash based. Will that affect it? That does affect it. Okay, cool. We can't do that then. So it does have to be bouncing ball for the sake of... it does have to have a bouncing ball movement for the sake of the initial state of things. Or even static? Would static movement be okay? Nah. Okay, it does have to be set to bouncing ball at first, just so that, you know, it does what I need it to do for the initial everything. Not moving at start. Actually, yeah, we'll have it set to moving at start, because its speed will be 0. Number of angles, doesn't matter. Randomizer, 0. We don't want anything random about it. Alright, and now it should be back to where it was. Yes, okay. Bouncing ball movement, terrific. And then maybe I can change what it's doing. Excuse me, maybe I can change the movement type when it's in the jump state. So here we go, we're gonna call this movement number 1. We will rename it to jump. Cool, okay, so we are doing this after all. We're just doing it a little differently than I thought I would. We're gonna change it to platform. Alright. So when we're setting it to the jump state, we're going to change the movement type. Is that an option? Multiple movements. Select movement, okay. It's between 0 and 1023, that's a lot of movement options. We'll just set it to 1. I believe 1 would be the platform movement of jump that we just made, if the first one is 0. So, alright, that should do it. If the movement state is jump, switch to that. And then we set it to that, and then we do some physics stuff now, I guess. Physics. Set linear velocity of 100 in a 90-degree angle, I guess. No, that didn't do anything. Ha! Okay. And that whole select movement thing was wrong. No, it can't be. Okay, I'm so sorry if this is boring, by the way, guys. I'm trying to just get this done in a timely fashion. So set movement, select movement, run, and then movement. We have gravity, strength, and control. Control. It doesn't matter. Select move one. Is there just a simple jump feat command? Thank you. I'm so sometimes you're on a roll, and then sometimes you hit a dead end. And that's just kind of how things are. Physics. No, it can't be physics. Can't be physics because it's explicitly not a physics object, it's just a platform object. I don't know, bounce, is that? Alright, wrong one. Movement. Apply angular impulse. 100. Sure, I don't even know what that'll do, but we'll see. Debug box time, where are you at? Okay, let's change this. Let's tell it so that you always want to set the text to the movement. Current movement number as a string. Okay, so its current movement number should be 0. Now it's 1, and then it stays as 1. Why is it doing this? Don't know what that's about. Okay, I'll deal with that in a second. Weird, but at least I know for sure that it is now jumping. So the movement is, so that does tail it to do that. Applying angular impulse isn't what I want though. Right? Is that what was causing it to mess up? No, that's just something to do with processing the physics of it all, I think. Let's jump. State is dash movement. Select movement of 0. Actually, that needs to be like the first thing that happens. So now it should jump back and forth between those two different movement types. Good, that's a good way of checking and making sure that it doesn't deviate from the course that we've set for it. Alright, so anyways, back to what I was doing here. So now when I tell it to set the state of its jump, it does select the movement of 1. You can just do that there. And when that happens, physics. Apply force of 200 in the direction of 90. I don't know, 90 degrees? Maybe that's straight up. Probably not. No, it's not. Oh, good. Probably because it was under physics, though. What if I change movement 1 to something else? Physics. Platform movement, okay. I'm just going to ignore its warnings. Initial direction, 0. Speed, 0. Acceleration, 0. Deceleration, 0. Don't use acceleration. No climbing speed. We're not dealing with any of this. Jump strength of 60, multiple jumps. No. Next strength, secondary jumps doesn't matter. Jump while crouched doesn't matter. Control button, horizontal control when jumping. No. Object density, elasticity, gravity, mask width. Whatever. Okay, let's just see if this does anything at all, or if it crashes. Right, okay, so the fact that it's not a physics engine object is a problem. Alright, so I can't jump using a physics thing. I've established this well and thoroughly. Like, it's just not happening. Jump. You go to gravity of 50, jump strength of 100. Why not? Just max it out. Control. Sure, whatever button 1 is. Can we say... Is there a way to set what button 1 is? No? I don't know what that even means. That, and then button. Can I tell a button to be pressed? Frame position, pause, scrolling screen, backdrop, speed screen. None of that makes any sense. Randomize, no. Player 1. Score doesn't matter. Number of lives doesn't matter. Player control. Set key. Up. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with this. But it's something. If I do it in that order, maybe something will happen. Nah, nothing's happening. This physics thing is a bust. Okay. Sorry, guys, but that is all the time. No, I gotta simulate a jump. Even if it's gonna be undone later. Even if it's just sort of scuffed for now and not actually a jump. I'm going to do it. I'll do it the way I know how. Even if it's not technically, the right way. It's still what I'm going to do. So yeah, final decision. I'll use a simulated, not really physics-based thing to do it. And later on I'll come back with proper physics engine sort of stuff and get it the way I want it to be. So, yep, okay, final decision. So let's simulate it, and then at least then I'll get a little sense of how I'm wanting it to be. You believe in me? Thank you. Okay. I'm glad to have the support. All right. So let's first of all get rid of this jump state physics engine, which I can't get working for the life of me, and we'll just stick with the normal bouncing ball physics engine that we have for it. Alright, so set state is jump. And then when his jump is happening, we are going to go to the self timer. Alterable values. Add 2. Self timer by 1. Add 1 to the self timer. Oh, and for the record, debug box, where are you at? Edit. We're going to say that you are now going to display the self timer of the character. Cool, so now when I'm dashing it should jump up to 4 and then go away, and now... Good! Now we've established when it's set to its jump, it does constantly go up, which is what we want. So I'm going to use this to calculate the height of the jump. character. Character hitbox movement time. So add one to the self timer. So while the state is jump, add one to the self timer. New condition. Oh, and then we position, set Y coordinate, set it to be whatever its current position is. Actually, not that. We could set its set deceleration to 50. Because I'm going to start doing something interesting. Set deceleration to 50. Direction of up. Might not even need the self timer. We'll see. Set speed of 100. Now it should gradually just clear out. Hello, Tom. You came in. Quite near the end of the live stream. What I've been wrangling with this whole time is getting the character to jump, but I've finally managed to do it. So, yay! Well, I'm in the middle of getting it to work anyways. Speed to 200. That's too fast and too far. Set deceleration to 100. That's not it. Oh, 100%. We can't have that. 75%. Two 7. So we do want it to be just 50. And then the speed, we can change that to something a little more reasonable, like 170. We're reaching the peak of the jump. It's 75 of the deceleration. That'll make it drop sooner. Speed to 150, and then set the deceleration back to 50. I think 50 is a good deceleration for the jump height. Feels good. Okay, and then once it reaches the peak of its height, okay, so set if the state of it is jump, and if it's the speed of the character is state of the character is jump, and then the speed is like a certain value or less, then it'll tell it to start the falling process. So that's what we need to do here. Okay, so compare the speed of the character to a value. If that value is, I don't know, 0. If the set value is 0 after it's set to is jump, set that to the last thing. Yeah, do this. this. Do 0, set to 150. We're going to change the state. Alterable values, set. We're going to, wait, not on that, we're going to have to set it on the character's state. Or alterable strings. Yeah, the state, no. It has to be the character state. Alterable strings on the character state, we're going to set it to be is fall. So now we're telling the computer that it's falling. New condition. If the state of it is called is fall, state to is fall, movement, set acceleration to 0. Actually, set acceleration to 50, yeah, and deceleration to 0. So the acceleration is 50, the deceleration is 0, so it's going to gradually climb up again. It's fall. And then direction, select duration of that. Actually, no. We're going to not have it look in that direction. We're just going to have its speed be the opposite. Movement, set speed. Oh, it has to be positive. Okay, then we have to look down. So direction, select direction of down. Acceleration 50, deceleration to 0, direction of down, and then the speed of the same thing. 175, I think, was what it was up there. No, it was 150. So then, if this, and then we gotta orient this right. So set this acceleration to 50, the deceleration to 0, the direction's that. And there. Okay, it's fall. So now, go back to that one more time. This is a very janky, cobbled together physics simulation, by the way. This is not very good at all. So the state of it is set to is fall. And then the speed of it winds up being 0. Now the state of it is fall. Let's just see what this looks like. Heck, we can finish the jump in a second. Yeah, it's a conflict. Okay. I give up. I'm sorry for the anticlimactic ending there, guys, but I have no clue what I'm doing, and we're out of time. Oh no, this is bad. So I'm going to forget about all of this. Deceleration be gone. State of it be gone. Replace this just with is jump as a default state I can build off of later. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the anticlimactic resolution, but I have no clue what I'm doing with this. And I'm going to watch some video tutorials on physics engine stuff, but I don't want to do that in the middle of the live stream. So that's why I'm going to wrap it up now, and hopefully a couple weeks from now that'll be yeah, maybe next time I can actually get it going. So thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This video posts content or has live streams every other weekend, usually on Saturdays. Until next time, I will see you later, guys. I hope you have a good one, and yeah, next time should be the last video before the holidays. Anyways, take care. Bye, guys.